Back in 2018, the toy company Hasbro would obtain the Master Toy license and later on the whole franchise that we know as Power Rangers. And at the time, that was the biggest news us fans have received in multiple years. We were very excited, but also just naturally a little nervous as well. Ever since Saban Brands bought back the franchise in 2011, all fans know is disappointment after failure. It was bad for us. So with this new company here, we didn't really know what to expect. But that was until one day when Hasbro would go on to announce that they'll be adapting a fan favorite Super Sentai series, Tokumei Sentai Go-Busters, as the next Super Sentai adaptation. Well, you can say we were very happy to hear that. And it got at least a few people excited. I think you know what happens from here. It's time to deep dive into the good and the bad of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Let's talk about it. But before we start, if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my Power Rangers videos. Only a small percentage of you is subscribed, so I would really appreciate it if you would join the E-Squad today and just watch more videos. Thanks a lot. And also, spoilers for Beast Morphers if you haven't seen already. This is a series review. I'm a deep dive. I'm gonna say everything. I'm gonna say all the secrets. There's no time for low-key stuff. I'm going very high-key on this one. Alright, with that set aside, here's the story. Set in the future, a secret agency known as Grid Battle Force creates a newly discovered substance called Morph X, which would go on to power the city and world's energy supply, along with animal DNA, to create the Grid Battle Force Power Rangers team, what we know as the Beast Morphers, which I don't think they reference Beast Morpher a lot in the show, actually, the whole phrase. These Rangers must fight off an evil sentient computer virus known as Evox, who is bent on taking over the source of all Ranger power, the Morphin Grid itself. Now, overall, when it comes to this story here, I actually really enjoyed how it was told. Especially in season 1, each episode would feel like it's just building up to something much bigger. Even if it's like a filler episode where like, oh, the Ranger's learning a lesson of the day, there's always like an underlying arc in it. Like, there's something always big coming in Beast Morphers. Whether that's a new weapon for the Rangers or a villain power-up, there's always something to be excited for when you're watching the show. And personally, I think that aspect alone made it much better to watch multiple episodes of Beast Morphers, because you know something different's about to happen. And with this being set in the main Power Rangers universe, it made it much better for us, the audience, to know that this universe that we're in is much bigger than we think, and that stuff that previous Rangers would actually affect what the Rangers today would do, along with their villains of the past, etc. That's just something big, and the interconnectivity here with all the different seasons is kind of amazing at points, albeit sometimes unexplainable.
There's a simple explanation for that.
But what's this big world without our team of Rangers? So let's go one by one, talk about them each. First off, we got Devin Daniels. He is one of the rookies here on the Beast Morphers team. He is the mayor's son, and he likes video games and karate, which I'm pretty sure they just use one episode, like each, to talk about those things like, hey, I'm a gamer, I'm playing video games, or hey, look at me, I'm fighting, I'm doing karate stuff. This is what my character does. So it's kind of annoying the rest of the time where Devin's like, hey, new gaming, esports tournaments, like kind of annoying at times, kind of cringe, not based at all. Now, something that happens to Devin a lot in this show is that he would kind of go his own way of things, just like ignore the rest of the team's wishes and just like, I'm gonna do this my way because I'm the Red Ranger. Like, bro, everyone's like, Devin, don't do it. And he's like, I'm actually going to do it because you guys told me not to do it. It happened multiple times in the show, like when they tried to form the Megazord for the first time, when Keeper advised Devin of the Grid's vision of him being struck by a meteor. He didn't care about that. And also in the finale where Devin would force the whole team of Grid Battle Force to change plans on how to destroy Evox because Blaze thought it was better. And he's like, I'm the leader. This is what I do. Like, Devin. And that makes it more confusing because at the end of the show, he becomes the commander. And like, yes, he did have really good moments in the show. Like in both finales, like in the first season and second season, like he was just shown being an amazing hero, an amazing leader. But if the rest of the episodes don't amount to that, it kind of makes Devin just an odd one. Next up, we got Ravi, which is also kind of a victim of the same thing. The trope that a filler episode, an episode with a lesson of the day, would completely change your character's personality, just make him completely act off as they usually would. With him being the most trained cadet in Grid Battle Force, he would push his ideals onto his teammates. Except he's hiding his own one that he paints. That's the big shocker here. Personally, I just felt like Ravi just wasn't used up to his potential. In season 1, he had really good storylines, especially with Roxy, his girlfriend that was supposed to be the original Yellow Ranger, and how he has to fight an evil version of her. That proves for a lot of amazing Roxy moments, especially his best scene in the show, in the finale of season 1, where he would fight the Avatar Roxy. He was so cold. He was definitely a badass for that. He was barely highlighted in that season, and also just kind of very laid back. Like, he was like the big cadet, like follow all the rules in the first season, second season, just like, I'm gonna break the rules now. And his best scenes in the show are with his mother, the commander of Grid Battle Force, and also Roxy, his girlfriend. Those were some really good storylines. But when it's just Ravi himself, eh. Next up, we got Zoe. Zoe is another rookie at Grid Battle Force, being a small person wanting to do big things. Being the only girl on this team, she does get some spotlight, especially with Nate in a little relationship. Will it not happen? I don't even know if it does happen. They're still kind of weird. Are they like friends, but like a little more than that, you know what I'm saying? She's usually the voice of reason here on the team, so she really shines on season 1 with her ideas and her aspects on life. But I felt like in season 2, they just lowered her character to just being reckless and not caring about anything, in terms of just like messing up all the time. Her best moments are also with her mom, but really overall, Zoe just never had that arc that I wanted to see her have in the show, which is a shame. Next up, we got Nate, the scientist, the mastermind behind the Grid Battle Force powers, and the one who let Evox become a reality in the first place. Now, I like Nate, you know, I like Nate, cool guy, but he gets mad very, very quickly. Like, and he does this a lot in the show, where most episodes were about him, it's just him being very, very mad over something. And like, I get it, he's the smart guy, he's protective of his tech, but like, you're in a team, bro, you know, and you have a brother they just get mad at every 2 seconds. Like, Steel, don't do that. It's like, he's a robot. Human, bro. Calm down, boy genius. No Jimmy Neutron. Most of the time, he would get mad at the other Rangers and also mad at himself. And these problems with Nate stick throughout the whole series until the very end of season 2. And that's just not it for me personally. However, Nate is one of the most emotional characters in the show, so this also leads to very good moments, like the time that he had to give up Steel to the villains. His best moments are with his brothers. Let's talk about his brothers. Steel, the best, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, the VIP, the MVP, the all-star Steel. He is the funniest and the greatest, the best character that we had in 10 years, better than Robo Knight. Robo Knight is a boring, monotone little robo dude that raps, all right? Steel doesn't rap, but he has a heart, and he has a heart at comedy. Tell Adam Sandler, Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin, their careers are over. Steel is next up, all right? Top 10 in the game. He's half robot, he's half human, making him Nate's brother, which makes for some funny engagements, as you know, Nate's a human and Steel's a robot. But Steel's focus episodes are literally the best. They're absolutely amazing. They're just great for pure enjoyment purposes. He is a perfect example of what the comedy in Power Rangers should be like, more dialogue based instead of slapstick humor. And we'll get to that eventually, but we gotta talk about the parents of the Rangers first. This was actually good seeing the parents of the Rangers in the season. Like, we saw Devin's dad is the mayor, Ravi's mom is the commander, Zoe's mom is a local reporter. Nate's parents are like helping civilizations around the world. They're gone for most of the show, and they're also Steel's parents, kind of, because Steel's half brother Nate robot. You get it, right? And it's just something that we don't see in Power Rangers a lot, and especially as Mayor Daniels being Evox's human body for season 2, that proved for some great moments with Devin, along with Ravi's mom be the commander of the team. It shows us the lives of the heroes of the Rangers, and you know, they're doing stuff for society as well. They're doing a big job, just like the Power Rangers are, just in a different way. Even though I wish they were more prevalent in the show, I'm glad that we at least got them. And now let's talk about Ben and Betty, the comedic duo of the show. Now, compared to past comedic duos like Victor and Monty, along with Bulk and Skull, which check out my video on Bulk and Skull, by the way, great video, Ben and Betty are a little bit of that, but a little bit different as well. They are watchable. They're definitely watchable. Some of their comedic slapstick stuff doesn't work at all. As you know, some of this slapstick is just naturally tiring for any Power Rangers fan, so seeing Ben and Betty was kind of like, I don't like this, but they're also kind of funny, so I'm giving them a few pity points. These guys were definitely more implemented into the show, unlike past comedic duos actually being part of the Grid Battle Force team, and they were a bigger help and much better duo in season 2, so they had some character development. And I gotta admit, they made me laugh a few times, all right? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry if I disappointed you for that. All right, next up, we gotta talk about the Beast Bots, because justice for the Beast Bots, because they got slapped around, they got thrown across, breaking them up, putting them back, and taking them down. They were treated badly. They were really abused here in the show. They had so much potential and just overall should have been used more, but but they didn't. They were barely highlighted in the show. It would have been much better for the story, and personally, the Beast Bots are my favorite because they're all so cute.
I hate when people call me cute.
Like Cruz, he's just a nice, good guy. You know, the gorilla dude, I don't even know his name. Come on, show. You should have shown him more. I would have remembered their name. I know Jax. He's got a New York accent, like, hey, get out of town. What do people in Brooklyn say? Whoop there. But yo, they had so much potential, and I did like their focus episodes when they were there, but if they're not there, I did not like that. A prime example of this was the Christmas episode where the Beast Bots were reminiscing of stuff that the Rangers' parents did, but the Beast Bots weren't actually there for any of the events that occurred. So why reminisce about your friends' events? I know you care about them, but why? And the Rangers would also reminisce on stuff that they did with the Beast Bots, but they would mostly just be like one moment in the show. Like out of all the greatest moments that they could have put for them reminiscing about the Beast Bots, they would all have just one moment. And I appreciated that one moment, but I wish we had like at least 4 more, make it 5. Also, that episode ends with the Rangers going to the North Pole with Santa. The Beast Bots are there. They did not show that ever. I want to see that Christmas episode where the Rangers are in the North Pole with Santa. That was a missed opportunity. That was the biggest cliffhanger of the show. All right, we gotta talk about the villains now. So let's talk about Blaze and Roxy, which honestly is the best villains that we had in a minute. All right, they were super enjoyable when they were on screen. I just wish that they did more stuff because they had just so much more potential than what they actually did in the show. Especially with more Blaze versus Devin moments, Roxy versus Zoe. Like they would like show this to us, like, hey, this event could happen where they would fight against each other, especially in the first episode where Blaze would be fighting Devin in karate class, but they didn't really have that many fights together like that. That could have been done easily. But villains aside, their civilian forms, their regular people before they were villains, also just deserved a lot more spotlight. They did get it in season 1 because, you know, they were asleep in those tubes and like, you know, I can't move. But in season 2, when they were returned back to normal, they would hang out with the Rangers for like the first 3-4 episodes and then disappear for the rest of the season. Didn't really show up to the end. We learned that Blaze went to Japan and Roxy just been chilling in the neighborhood, I guess. Both of their villain suits for both seasons were really good though. I gotta give them that. But Blaze and Roxy, y'all need the respect you deserve. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up, we got Scrozzle, which is a Power Rangers exclusive villain. He's kind of like the actual boy genius, or the robot genius behind all of Evox's master plans, making me think that, you know, Scrozzle's actually like the actual big mastermind in all this. He didn't get destroyed in the show. He got arrested by Grid Battle Force, so he can easily just come back and just be like, I'm about to destroy more stuff for Evox, because, you know, he just gets away with everything. And finally, we got Evox, which you guys should know as Venjix, the main villain from Power Rangers RPM getting gear. The reveal where they showed that Evox was Venjix was actually awesome. It was based, and it was one of my favorite scenes in all of Beast Morphers. All those scenes with Evox was very much worth it in the finale, but they should have alluded to this a lot earlier, like shown us more clues of this in season 1. And it makes sense because Venjix was responsible for the destruction of the world in RPM, so he was about to do the same in 2 universes as Mayor Daniels, installing Morph X towers around the world. He was slick with it, all right? I gotta give it to Venjix / Evox. Good villain. There was also some original weapons and battleizers and armor and stuff in the show, which was super nice. There were some cool ones like the Morph X keys, which they would use to, you know, activate beast power. And useless ones like the Cheetah Beast Blaster, which Devin would summon, a scope thing would show up and he would shoot them, but the Megazord would slash with the sword. Weird stuff. There was also a whole Ranger Vault with old Power Rangers weapons. That's crazy. I love that. Some of them need explaining though, like how does Ravi have a Delta Enforcer from, you know, 5 years into the future? No one talks about that. The Cheetah Claws were nice. The Beast X King Ultra Bow and Saber were also good weapons, and it's good because they would tease this stuff like in earlier episodes to get you excited for these new weapons, and it helped in season 2 when, you know, they already had all those Zords. They just got the Beast X King Zord, so they just gave him hella new weapons in season 2. Also, Red Fury mode, justice for Red Fury mode. It was Devin's Battleizer that had like 2 episodes. It looked cool, and you know, I get it, like it's a weapon, like it was the power and he was addicted to the power and it would have made him evil, but it looks so cool. I appreciate the explanation, but y'all should keep it. There were some amazing episodes and arcs in Beast Morphers as well, like the data chip arc, which like I said was a good way of having filler episodes have an underlying arc to, you know, give a villain a power up, and it went to Vargoyle, and both of Vargoyle's arcs in season 1 and 2 are good, especially the one with Captain Chaku, a metal hero from Japan, you know, originally from Japan, adapted into like a space galaxy policeman, and it was good to see Rangers team up with other galactic heroes across the universe, you know, know, world building and stuff. Both finale arcs super done well, enjoyable, really got me tense. Like, oh my god, are they gonna defeat the villain or not? Like, I was tenseful in the seat. Obviously, we also gotta mention the dinosaur team up, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, Mighty Morphin. They were there. I made episode reviews, 3 of them. Go check it out. I thought it was good for what it was, and watching it with the rest of the episodes was also fun. You know, it's not the best team up. I liked it. If you don't care about issues and complaining, you like it. Also, the Halloween episodes was good. Seeing the Rangers dress up in costumes, act like, you know, I'm a cheerio British man and I'm a Viking and I'm Dracula, not Dracula, Frankenstein. It was cool. I love that. Also, Beast Morphers just had a really good first episode. When we all saw that after the disgusting, horrible Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, we were like, oh, this is gonna be a good show. So the structure of the episode seen here in Beast Morphers is actually pretty good. Much better than previous Power Ranger seasons. With a combination of sometimes 2 Sentai episodes, along with changing where the Zord fight could be or the big fight of the episode, it makes for some really special moments. There are some few bad episodes of Beast Morphers actually, which would sometimes just straight up pull me from the world that we're in. The 2 episodes I have written here are both Ravi episodes actually. First off, the bullying episode, one of the worst episodes of season 1. A prime example of, here, lesson of the day. I'm putting it to your face. Learn. I'm saying exposition. I'm just saying, I'm not showing you. I'm just saying it. There was also the Pan American episode, where that episode was supposed to air for the 2020 Olympics in Japan. That was the Power Rangers version of it. But you know, worldwide events kind of stopped that from happening. So it was kind of aired in a weird spot. It was also referenced to season 3 of MMPR, where Kimberly would actually go to the Pan American game. So cool universe stuff, I guess. But Ravi was a jerk this whole episode. Very out of character. However, overall, besides all that, besides all the bad, think about the good and the bad and the mid, we bring them all together. Beast Morphers is, I can say, the best Power Ranger season that we had in the decade. I know, I said a lot of bad stuff, but compared to the rest, you know, Samurai, that direct translation of Shinkenger, Mega Force, the destruction of both Goseiger and Gokaiger footage, along with Dino Charge, a promising first season, but a ultimate failure of a second season, and Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel with their just lack of energy and soul. I'm so sorry. The cast was so nice, but Ninja Steel was ass. But Beast Morphers was the opposite of that. It was great for what it is. I would say it's in my top 10 Power Ranger seasons. I would probably say lower half, a little bit closer to 10 though. It was the most fun I've had watching a Power Ranger season in a very long time. And even though the series did have problems, it didn't drive me away from watching the show. I just kept watching it because I enjoyed seeing these characters, and especially Steel. Also, rest in peace Spot. Steel's plant. They will be missed. When the story's plot hits, it hits. It hits hard, and the episodes where they would have just strictly story are really good watches. If you haven't watched the PR season in full, I definitely would watch Power Rangers RPM, but you should watch Power Ranger Beast Morphers right after that. It's a nice continuation. It's like a spiritual successor in a way. Beast Morphers is overall just a good show that you can just enjoy on a surface level. Just chill on the couch and watch Beast Morphers. It's good. It's enjoyable. You know, I know Power Rangers is not necessarily aimed at me because, you know, I'm not a child or anything, but, you know, I'm a teen. Long-term fan. I'm an adult. I'm actually 20. I'm an adult. You know, I want to still enjoy Power Rangers in a way, and I can say truthfully that I enjoyed Beast Morphers. Power Rangers in the last decade has looked down on its audience, and Beast Morphers, even if small, is a big step towards a new future of Power Rangers in the hands of Hasbro. I hope we can look back at Beast Morphers and just remember it for what it is, the first small step towards a much bigger, better franchise and just an overall better show. And that is it for my Beast Morphers review. What do you guys think of this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know, what Power Ranger season do you want me to watch next? That's it. Thank you so much for all the love today and all the support you have given me. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Don Fuego. I'm also on Instagram, Not Don Fuego. I'm Este. Have a great day, and of course, and as always, I love you all so much. Stay awesome, everybody.